Number 8. The MAF sensor, mass airflow sensor. The mass airflow sensor is one of the most critical and most ignored components in modern fuel injection systems. Its job is to measure, with extreme precision, every gram of air entering the engine. To do this, it uses an ultra-thin platinum wire, almost as thin as a human hair, which is electrically heated to a constant temperature. As air flows past it, the wire is cooled in direct proportion to the speed and volume of incoming air. What the ECU actually measures is the amount of electrical current needed to keep that wire at the same temperature. That value is instantly converted into air mass. The disaster begins when microscopic dust particles, oil vapor from the crankcase ventilation system, residue from oiled performance air filters, or general urban pollution settle on that delicate wire. Its thermal behavior changes completely, and the ECU starts receiving inaccurate airflow data. The result is a confusing mix of symptoms. Noticeable power loss during harder acceleration, unexplained fuel consumption increases, unstable idle that comes and goes, and in more severe cases, stalling during sudden deceleration. In professional diagnostics, roughly 40% of vehicles showing rich or lean mixture fault codes don't actually have a failed MAF. They're simply contaminated. Proper cleaning requires a dedicated MAF cleaner spray and careful handling, with absolutely no physical contact with the sensing element. But there's another air measuring sensor that works on a completely different principle. Number 7. The MAP sensor, manifold absolute pressure sensor. The MAP sensor is commonly used in engines that don't rely on a mass airflow sensor, especially in systems known as speed density. Instead of measuring airflow directly, it measures the absolute pressure, or vacuum, inside the intake manifold using a piezoresistive element that changes electrical resistance as pressure changes. At idle, with the throttle closed, intake vacuum is high and pressure readings are low, typically around 20 to 30 kilopascals. Under wide-open throttle, vacuum nearly disappears and pressure rises close to atmospheric, approaching 100 kilopascals at sea level. The ECU combines this data with intake air temperature and engine speed to calculate incoming air mass using thermodynamic equations. Problems start when the vacuum hoses connecting the sensor to the intake manifold become brittle, cracked, or partially disconnected. Even tiny vacuum leaks completely distort the readings. The sensor reports higher engine load than reality, causing the ECU to inject excess fuel. The symptoms include heavy fuel consumption, black smoke from the exhaust, and persistent rich mixture codes. In U.S. repair shops, simply cleaning the MAP port and inspecting vacuum lines solves roughly 80% of issues blamed on the sensor itself. But when emissions are the main concern, there's a sensor that becomes even more critical. Number 6. The oxygen sensor, commonly called the O2 sensor. Oxygen sensors are the ECU's eyes inside the exhaust system. They constantly monitor combustion efficiency and adjust the air-fuel ratio thousands of times per minute. They operate using a zirconia ceramic element heated above 300 degrees Celsius, which generates a voltage based on the oxygen difference between exhaust gases and outside air. At the ideal stoichiometric ratio, around 14.7 parts air to 1 part fuel, the sensor outputs roughly 0.45 volts. Lean mixtures drop the signal below 0.3 volts, while rich mixtures push it above 0.6 volts. The ECU uses these rapid fluctuations to fine-tune fuel delivery in real time. The real damage happens when the sensor becomes contaminated by lead residues, silicone, or phosphorus, typically from poor quality fuel or oil burning due to worn piston rings. These contaminants chemically poison the sensing element, slowing its response and reducing accuracy. The result is sluggish mixture correction, higher fuel consumption, noticeable power loss, and almost guaranteed failure during emissions testing in states with strict inspection programs. Now we move away from gas composition and into position sensing with very different symptoms. Number 5. The TPS, throttle position sensor. The throttle position sensor is a high-precision potentiometer mounted directly to the throttle shaft. It tells the ECU exactly how much acceleration the driver is requesting. Inside, there's a resistive track and a moving wiper that divides reference voltage according to throttle angle, usually ranging from about 0.5 volts at idle to 4.5 volts at wide-open throttle. With this signal, the ECU decides whether the driver wants fuel economy or maximum performance, adjusting fuel delivery and ignition timing accordingly. Problems arise when the internal track wears out or becomes contaminated, creating dead spots. These typically occur at the commonly used throttle positions, such as cruising speed or stop-and-go traffic. Drivers feel hesitation, jerking during acceleration, momentary power loss at specific pedal positions, and in extreme cases, engine shutdowns. Technicians diagnose this by monitoring voltage output on a scan tool while slowly opening the throttle, looking for sudden jumps or drops in the signal. Number 4, the crankshaft position sensor. Without a crankshaft position sensor, a modern engine is effectively blind. Mounted near the crankshaft or a toothed reluctor wheel, this sensor generates precisely timed electrical pulses as teeth pass by its magnetic tip. The ASHA relies on this signal to know the exact position of each piston and the engine's rotational speed, determining the precise timing for fuel injection and spark. When this sensor accumulates metal shavings, burnt oil residue, or general grime, the signal becomes distorted. The result is intermittent misfires, sudden hot engine stalling, long crank times, or brief ignition loss while driving. In many U.S. workshops, simply cleaning the sensor tip with a lint-free cloth and electrical contact cleaner restores full stability to engines that seem to suffer from serious ignition or fuel system failures. But the ASHA doesn't just need to know where the crankshaft is. It also needs to know exactly what the camshaft is doing, and that's where the next sensor comes in. Number 3, the ECT sensor, engine coolant temperature sensor. This sensor is the engine's internal thermometer. It tells the engine control module whether the engine is stone cold, warming up, or already at ideal operating temperature. Based on this single piece of information, the ECU enriches the mixture during cold starts, keeps idle speed higher while the engine warms up, commands the radiator fans when temperature rises, and adjusts ignition timing according to thermal conditions. It is one of the most critical data points in the entire engine management system. Problems begin when this sensor becomes contaminated, develops oxidation at the terminals, or slowly loses calibration due to internal corrosion. When that happens, the ECU may believe the engine is permanently cold or permanently hot, and that's when chaos starts. Fuel consumption spikes because the ECU keeps applying cold start enrichment all the time. Cooling fans may fail to activate, pushing the engine dangerously close to overheating. Hot restarts become difficult because the injected fuel quantity is completely wrong. Idle speed hunts up and down without logic, and in the worst-case scenario, real overheating damage can occur simply because the ECU never commanded the fans to turn on. A properly functioning coolant temperature sensor ensures correct fueling when cold and hot, fans activating at the right time, and the ECU working with real data instead of guesses. It eliminates a long list of intermittent issues that feel mysterious, but in reality come down to a dirty sensor and poor electrical contact lying about engine temperature. Number 2, the IAT sensor, intake air temperature sensor. The IAT is the thermometer for the air your engine breathes. It constantly measures whether incoming air is cold and dense or hot and thin. This information is critical because cold air requires more fuel, while hot air requires less. When this sensor becomes contaminated with fine dust, oil vapor, or intake system residue, its readings drift away from reality and symptoms begin to appear. The engine feels sluggish, especially during cold starts. Fuel consumption increases because the ECU injects the wrong amount of fuel. Power drops under hard acceleration because air mass calculations are off, and you get that infuriating behavior where the car runs great one day and terrible the next with no obvious explanation. A clean IAT allows the ECU to accurately calculate air density, adjust fueling based on weather and ambient conditions, improve cold starts, and eliminate that inconsistent behavior that makes drivers blame fuel quality, spark plugs, or some vague mystery problem. Number 1, cleaning electrical terminals and connectors. This is the real most overlooked trick. You can have brand new sensors, premium oil, and perfect spark plugs. If the electrical signal travels through oxidized, sulfated, or loose connections, the engine will still misbehave. Wiring harnesses and connectors are the veins and nerves of the electronic system. A single pin with green corrosion, moisture inside a connector, or a loose terminal can cause intermittent failures, random fault codes, and warning lights that appear and disappear at will. That's why one of the most underrated services is connector cleaning. The process is simple, but it requires attention to detail. Running this connector checklist across the entire engine, as tedious as it may seem, fixes more problems than blindly replacing parts. Intermittent codes vanish, strange drivability issues disappear, and the engine stops acting like it has a mind of its own. Before spending money, clean the connections that hold the entire electronic system together.